Okay, Senator Wicker. All right, I want to thank all of you for coming today, and really thank you for your interest in the Energizing American Shipbuilding Act. There are many people who have helped make this happen. You'll be hearing from several of them in a few moments. I especially want to thank Senator Roger Wicker, who's over here on my right, which is where he would be now. Needless to say, I'm going to time that time. Mr. Robert Whitman, head of the House Armed Services Sea Power Committee, may be coming along, as will Joe Courtney, the minority member, and the ranking member of the Transportation Infrastructure Committee, Peter DeFazio. All of them are strong supporters of this bill. You'll hear from my two colleagues on my right and one on my left in just a moment, Mr. Norcross out of the great state of New Jersey. The American, and also here today, the American Shipbuilding Suppliers Organization. Carl, you're around here someplace. Carl Fisher, thank you for pulling that together. The American Maritime Officers and American Maritime Officer Services, machinists and metal trades, boilermakers, electrical workers, Sailor Union of the Pacific Transportation Institute and Maritime Institute for Research and Development, and of course the Alliance for American Manufacturing. Also the Transportation Trade Department, the FL-CIO, Council of American Masters and Mariners, the Propeller Club of Northern California, and the International Union of Painters and Allied Trades. All of these folks have been instrumental in making all of this legislation come together. Because of their efforts, this legislation is, as we've already discovered, bipartisan and bicameral. Senator, thank you so much. It has the support of business, labor leaders throughout all aspects of the maritime industry, from mariners to metallurgy and everywhere in between. We're all here today. It's National Maritime Day because of this critical American maritime industry, absolutely essential to our national security. This industry is in trouble. The Department of Defense relies on U.S. flag fleet and its pool of trained and certified mariners for over 95% of the national sea lift needs in times of war and emergency. But our fleet is in rapid decline. The number of privately owned, ocean-going U.S. flag vessels has dropped from 249 in the 1980s to 160 in 2012, and today, 81. Mr. Lowenthal, you can stay in the back of the room, but I prefer if you can join us. This forces our military to rely on foreign flag vessels for sustainment in times of war, and the danger this possesses isn't just theoretical. In the 1991 Gulf War, our armed forces relied on 192 foreign flagged ships to carry cargo to the war zone. On 13 of them, the foreign crews rebelled, forcing the ships to abandon their mission and return to American ports. Our merchant marine has significantly dwindled over the intervening 3 decades to the point where we are short 1,800 mariners in order to meet the minimum required adequate sea lift according to U.S. Transcom and the Maritime Administration. You can imagine the kind of problem that would ensue if we happen to get into a serious war in the near future. This is why we're here, to rebuild our U.S. flag fleet for the sake of our economy and for our national security. For too long, we've outsourced the security and control over the supply chain that underpins our entire economy. Of the 1.4 billion tons of goods that travel through U.S. ports each year, 98% travel on foreign flag vessels operated by foreign mariners. Congress can now start turning that around by passing this legislation that we're presenting today, the Energizing the American Shipbuilding Act. This legislation is very simple. As America exports the strategic national asset of liquefied natural gas and crude oil, it is in our national interest to utilize this cargo to provide a reliable, long-term markets for our U.S. shipbuilding base and maritime industries. This bill requires that a very small percentage of these ocean-going exports be transported on U.S.-built and flagged vessels starting in 2023, ramping up to 10% of the crude oil by 2032 and 15% of LNG by 2040. This would result in the domestic construction of over 50 vessels, which would expand and enhance our industrial base, create thousands of jobs, high-paying in manufacturing and maritime jobs, and develop the shipbuilding capabilities vital for America's national security. Our maritime industry deserves the robust support from Congress. And because of the hard work of people in this room, I believe we're on the road to making it happen. I now introduce a fellow that I've had the pleasure of working with on many different issues. He comes from the Great South, Senator Roger Wicker. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you, John, and to my brothers from the House of Representatives. Thank you for coming over here to the Senate side for this press conference. And I will already agree, the next time we have a press conference, I'll come back to my origins over on the House side and we'll return the favor. If you believe in bipartisanship, this is a press conference for you. If you believe in bicameralism, you're at the right place today. And my goodness, if you want a program that unites labor and management and manufacturing, then this is the bill for you. And I'm just glad to be part of it. We did hear some talk about our balance of trade. You're concerned about that? Have I got a piece of legislation that's going to help us in that regard? I'm a guy that's always wanted to produce more energy in the United States and sell it to other folks. Have I got a bill that you'll be interested in if that's the sort of thing you want? And of course, John mentioned what this means to national security. And it just means so much because when the flag goes up and a crisis occurs, we need American ships to depend on, and we will have more of them if this bill comes to fruition, and I'm quite certain it will. So, we're talking about security, we're talking about job security for Americans, we're talking about the balance of trade, and we're talking about holding hands and getting something done to make our economy better and our citizens safer. So I could not be more delighted to stand here with Republican and Democratic members from across the Hill and join hands toward getting this great goal accomplished. So thank you very, very much. And John, do I turn it back over to you now? Thank you so much.
Senator Wicker will be offering the Senate version of the bill, and working it from this side, we'll be working it from the other side. I'm going to stay on the bipartisan piece of it for a few moments to introduce the chairman of the Coast Guard Maritime Subcommittee of the Transportation Infrastructure Committee, a fellow I've had the privilege of working with on many, many issues, including this one. Duncan Hunter, would you all say?
Thank you, John, for doing this. I mean, this is something that's awesome, and like Greg said, it's amazing what you can get done. We don't care who gets the credit for it. We don't care. We just want to get it done. When I was a lieutenant, I went to war the second time. In 2004, we moved our battery from Camp Pendleton in California down to the loading dock in San Diego, and I was the embarkation officer. So I took our howitzers and our Humvees and all of our gear, our big quad cons, our boxes, and I loaded everything with my Marines on a row. Roll on, roll off ship. There was a U.S. flag ship crewed by Americans. They then took it to Kuwait, and we fell in on it. We went to Fallujah. And we fought using the equipment that a U.S. flag, U.S. crewed ship took over to Iraq for us. That's how we go to war. That's how we go to war all the time. If something big blows up, not in Iraq or in Afghanistan, we don't have the ships right now necessary to move our people and equipment and Band-Aids, bullets, and food to where we need to go to. We don't have it right now if something big kicks off. This addresses that problem. If you control the ocean, you control the world. That was said 100 years ago, but it was true thousands of years ago, and it's true now. If you control the ocean, you control the world, and doggone it, I'm going to call myself a protectionist from now on. It's okay to be a protectionist if you're protecting the things that America needs in order to survive and to be around it in the next 50 years. And a strong commercial Navy, merchant marine, is just as important as a U.S. Navy with guns on them. You had thousands of mariners die in World War II. They finally got recognized. I think in the last couple of years, we recognized those mariners that were killed traversing the oceans, going back and forth. We realize how important it is because you can't go to war without that logistics train. And this makes sure that we have it and we have it going forward. It would cost the Navy tens of billions of dollars. To my non-protectionist friends, to my free traders, it would cost the Navy tens of billions of dollars to have ships sitting on standby waiting to go to war if we had to go to war. So why not let industry and the market work in the way that it can, and we can do that for them, and won't cost the Navy a dime, and we'll be able to move our goods around the ocean without having to use Korea, without having to use Chinese steel, using American steel, American crew, American workers. There are things worth protecting, and this country is one of them. So thank you, John, and everybody here. It's just a pleasure to be a part of this.
Joining us in strong support of this is a fellow that I had the privilege of working with on the Armed Services Committee, Don Norcross, representing New Jersey.
First of all, to my colleagues, thank you for being here, to the Senator, allowing us over to the House of Lords. It's wonderful. But we're all aligned, and that's about being part of America. I live in Camden, New Jersey. We had 4 shipyards. One of them employed 40,000 people. It's where we made the Kitty Hawk. The first nuclear-powered freighter. They're all gone. They're all gone. We had the Philadelphia Navy Yard, and the remnants is what's left. If that doesn't send up a signal that our country is at risk, nothing else will. Make no mistake about it. We are at risk. If the Gulf War were to happen again today, there'd be a real question whether or not those logistics would be here. So national security, certainly our warfighters know that. But it's also about those skills it takes to put together a ship. We had several hearings in Sea Power with Chairman Whitman talking about the loss of the skill sets. We do a good job when it comes to building the warships. We have virtually remnants left of what used to build the ships that take our cargo around the world. 99% of that cargo goes on foreign flag vessels. So what we're talking about is energizing what we once had. You can't subcontract out the national security, and essentially that's what we've done. So when we were just up at Electric Boat, looking at how they build our next generation of subs, you saw American ingenuity at its best. That needs to take place on the private side also. We need to come together as a nation, put our men and women back to work. Rosie the Riveter, come on back, we got a job for you. And I want to thank our colleagues for standing up for America. It's about jobs, it's about security, it's about taking care of America first. Thank you.
Let's go to the West Coast. Alan Lowenthal out of the Long Beach area. Alan?
Thank you, Congressman. Thank you, Senator, Congressmember, myself. You know, I represent the West Coast, the border, not the entire West Coast, but good actors on Long Beach, Port of Long Beach. We are tied to international trade, and what have I seen? I've represented them both in the state legislature, before on the city council, and now in the Congress, and what we know is that this is a critical time for the U.S. maritime industry. We are seeing it shrink. I am seeing it shrink. I am seeing the entire world in the maritime, the consolidation that's taking place. Fewer and fewer owners of ships, more of them are kind of international alliances that are coming through. We have lost our foothold as an American maritime power. So as was pointed out, when there are crises, we are left without the people who are going to defend us in terms of security. But we also know that if we're going to compete on a worldwide stage, we have got to, and I think the operative word is to energize American shipbuilding. And the word that we're really here to talk about is how do we energize it? And this bill is a great opportunity for what many of us have been talking about for a number of years, and to see how we have an opportunity now to really build some ships, really energize the ship, and really rebuild the merchant mariner, and really protect ourselves when there's a crisis, and really be a part of this global economy. And so what we're going to do is, as was pointed out, we're going to harness this boom in energy development, energy exports, and we're going to say U.S. commerce. You're now going to help us participate by also helping us to build U.S. shipbuilding. That's really why we're here. Sometimes there are small things that have major impact. This is just a small requirement. We're not saying we're going to build all the ships in the world. We're just saying we're going to build a percentage of those ships. We're going to create thousands of American jobs. We're going to protect ourselves in terms of security issues in the future, and we're going to participate in this energy boom, and we're going to bring that back to jobs for Americans, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm just really here, glad to stand with John and the other members of Congress who really support, building in America, do it here, let's participate, let's join this energy boom, and let's see what we can do for the merchant mariner also. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Very well said, all of my colleagues there. There are others that can speak to this issue, and I think in a way that has as much meaning as we have said. The Shipbuilding Council of America, Rob Mullins, CEO of VT Halter